It's Sunday, January 9th, 2022. I'm TC Kirkham, and this is the Kirkham Report. Welcome to the premiere edition of the Kirkham Report. I'm TC Kirkham. Nice of you to join me, VC. Got lots of great stuff for you, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Lots of new features, lots of interesting things, and I hope that this new show and its new format will be to your liking, and I hope that if you do like it, you'll smash the subscribe button and be sure to give me a thumbs up and spread the word to people. And don't forget, I always love it when you leave a comment, so please do that. But right now, I have lots more features to go, but let's kick things off with this week's cover story. I think it's safe to say that vinyl is back in a big way. I got back into it in 2020 during the pandemic, and it ran through 21, 22. Now I'm back in it for good. But most everybody has too. According to MRC data, the company that tracks music sales electronically, weekly U.S. vinyl album sales surpassed 2 million copies for the first time since 1991, when they started using electronic means to track music sales. It had its biggest week of all time, the week before Christmas, week ending December 23rd, which was a huge amount. It was way over the 1.8 million vinyl LPs sold that same week just a year ago. And I mean, that's up 45% in the period over the last year. I think that's pretty crazy. There were times a few years ago when people said vinyl was dead. Now that's being said about CDs, which I also don't buy. CDs are out there, you know, doing pretty well. Cassettes are even making a comeback. I guess there is some truth to the old saying, everything old is new again. Vinyl sales have resurged so much that more and more acts are putting their new albums out on vinyl again. Perhaps the biggest example of that was Adele's latest album, 30, which caused all kinds of production problems for other albums because they were making so many of it, and of course it turned out to be a wise idea. It was the #1 album for 2 or 3 weeks. I think that vinyl sales will continue to climb even as prices continue to climb. One of this year's biggest problems was the raising of prices overall. Even on used stuff, when you used to be able to find a good, you know, near mint or very good plus used album for $5 or $6, those are now going in the $16 to $20 range in some places. I'm lucky to have a lot of good dealers I deal with, both on Discogs and locally, plus a few through my connections that I've made through YouTube. I get a lot of great stuff on vinyl, and most of it, as you'll see on Out of the Box, this time was 45s. Vinyl is back. It never really went away. It just got really small for a while. Now that it's back and coming back up, I think prices will eventually taper off and start to lower, I think, on some of the bigger stuff, but it's going to take another couple of years. Record store day releases, of course, don't help that. They're always premium price, and there's few of them out there. Hopefully that will continue to evolve as well as vinyl becomes more and more in demand. I remember as recently as 2005 or 2006, when you couldn't find a vinyl record anywhere. Even a used one was hard to come by unless you knew where the little used stores were. Now vinyl is carried again in all the major retailers, including Target, Walmart, Amazon online, as well as major music retailers online. Of course, FYE has a site, Bull Moose has a site, Newberry Comics up here has a site. They do all these sales, plus Rough Trade, Amoeba, all of them. They're all back and doing things again. And it's a good thing for collectors. It's a good thing for music industry as a whole. One thing I think that we as collectors need to emphasize to a lot of digital artists that are also good. Quite a few people in the VC don't listen to digital music. They just have a mental block against it. I'm going to hopefully help ease that over the next few weeks because I'm an avid streamer as well. I buy digital. I buy, hard copy. I buy analog vinyl. I buy CD. I occasionally buy cassettes, but I do download quite a bit of music. And some of those artists don't release stuff on physical media, and I think it's up to us to let them know that they should. They have, pretty inexpensive outlets to go through now to release vinyl and CDs, including Bandcamp, including Pledge Music isn't out there anymore because they kind of screwed over a bunch of artists, but they were a good source for a couple of years. Kickstarter has great plans where they can take it and do it their way. CD Baby still makes things available for artists. It's important as music fans that we let digital artists know that we like them and we'd listen more if they were on vinyl or CD. I think that's a very big point to make with them. So vinyl never really died, but it has made a big comeback, and 2022 is looking like it's going to be even better. We'll find out as the year goes on, and that is this week's cover story. Some of my recent pickups on Out of the Box this week. I picked this up from Suicide Squeeze Records. I don't remember where I saw it advertised. I think it was Bandcamp. This is a 45 Elliott Smith Division Day and No Name 86. There it is. It is has an inner sleeve. It has this very cool green and blue splatter vinyl. I'm a huge Elliott Smith fan. He's one of the few alternative acts I really got into, and I didn't know who he was until 2 or 3 years after he passed away. Also came with a support, thanks for your support card from Suicide Squeeze Records and a sticker. So thank you guys. Can't wait to hear this. Haven't had a chance to listen to it, but hopefully by the time this airs, I will have. Picked up a couple of things from a recent advertisement from Goldmine. Haven't opened these yet. They did come right before Christmas, and they are both Christmas albums, but I didn't have time to get around to it because I've just got so much going on in here that it's really kind of hard for me to use the turntable at this moment. I've been doing some cleaning, but these will definitely go into rotation next year. This is Cheap Trick Christmas. Features Father Christmas and Merry Christmas Darlings. It is from Big Machine Records. And I also picked up Steve Perry's The Season. This is, of course, the ex-lead singer of Journey. Released on Fantasy Records. For the first time, one of the most iconic voices in rock sings 8 holiday classics, 140G black vinyl, and it comes with a download card, so I'll definitely be using that eventually. I love Steve Perry, so this ought to be really great, and I'm glad Goldmine sent me I get their newsletter, and that's where it was, and they sent me information on it, so I ordered it, and next Christmas I'll have some new stuff to listen to. So thank you, Goldmine. Next up, my latest haul from Record Crate. Adam in Raleigh and Lake Forest and Selma, too, but mostly from Raleigh. Picked up mostly CDs. He had a mostly dollar CD sale, so I got quite a few of those. I also have some from him I didn't show from last time, and I need to do that. But I did pick up a few vinyl items also for good prices. So the few vinyls I got were Wet Willie, Mannerisms. This is their 1977 album, features their hit Street Corner Serenade. Love them. They are awesome. Love Jimmy Hall's solo stuff, too. I never did get around to getting his solo album, though. Canadian pop metal band Trooper, and two for the show. Trooper, this is on Legend Records, and Wet Willie is an American press. Some of these were from Canadian pressings that he had gotten. Trooper never did click in America the way they were in Canada, but I always liked what I heard. I always thought they were pretty good. Classic from Merrily Rush, her album Angel of the Morning on Bell Records. There's the original kind of ugly Bell label compared to the 70s label, which I thought was really cool. And the Canadian pressing of Ambrosia's debut album. This, of course, features Holding On to Yesterday. I am a huge Ambrosia fan. I've picked up 2 or 3 of their other albums over the last year. I had a ton of singles by them, so I'm glad to get all these, and this is terrific. As I said, this is a Canadian pressing, but still 20th Century Fox Records, which is where they were originally. This I thought was great, and I grabbed it because I had read about it when I was doing one of my Obscurias a few weeks ago. This is Burt Kaempfert and the original motion picture score, A Man Could Get Killed. This is a spy movie from the 1960s. One of the songs on here, they have actually, this is probably a reissue, because it actually is called Strangers in the Night here. In the film's original notes on Wikipedia, it says it was adapted from, that song was adapted from the track here. So they have actually titled it on this one, so that makes me think it's a repress from a little bit later on. But still, Burt Kaempfert, awesome. Great, easy listening, middle of the road style stuff. This is, I didn't know Columbia made these. Something Else Again, 26 heavy sounds from Columbia. This is basically Columbia's version of the Warner's Lost Leaders. Santana, Big Brother and the Holding Company, Laura Nyro, Chicago, Spiral Staircase, Sly and the Family Stone, RBQ, Aretha Franklin, The Arbors. A whole bunch of great stuff on this 2-record set. I'll put that up there if you want to hit freeze frame on it so you can see all the titles, but it's great stuff all the way around. And finally, another radio transcript. I thought this would be a lot of fun from RCA's 1983 special radio series. This is an interview with Paul Kantner of Jefferson Starship at the time. I don't think he'd left yet at this point, or he might have. Also some Jefferson Airplane. There's a whole bunch of other ones in this series that I'd love to get my hands on. They include, this is actually the final one from the look of it, but they include Bowie, Bruce Cockburn, Ellen Shipley, Grace Slick, Don McLean, Jack Green, Doug and the Slugs, Frankie and the Knockouts, Karen Lawrence, Syl Sylvain, Daryl Hall and John Oates, Polly Rock, Bow Wow Wow, Slow Children, Lou Reed, LaRue, Jefferson Starship, Robert Kraft, and Paul Kantner. So this was after he left Starship. Still, it'll be great. Those are great. Let me put these away over here real quick in the box again. I gotta get those into Discogs. And as I said, Adam also was running a great dollar CD sale and a nice big stack here to show off. All different types of music. You know me, I love everything. So you're going to see all kinds of things. David Land's Return to the Heart. Great new age and jazzy stuff. Alabama #1 hits for the record. This has 22 of Alabama's big hits. This was a promo copy, obviously, it's not for sale, listed there. 20 years of hits, 1940 to 1959. This is a 4 CD set. It has from Reader's Digest. I don't know if these are original artists or not. We didn't really check it before I went through it, but yeah, it looks like they are from the booklet. Perry Como and Dean Martin. They're all on the front there. A lot of them. Lifescape's Relaxing Harp. I love stuff like this. Great stuff. Coldplay's Greatest Hits. I was unaware that this was out. This is a double disc set, And I'm actually wondering if this is a UK press, although it may be out here in America. Not that big of a Coldplay fan, but I figured a hits disc for $1 would be good to have. Another David Lanz, Cast East of the Moon. Great stuff. Oops, sorry about that. Tesla's 5-man acoustical jam. Of course, this is the live album that features their version of Signs. We just lost the lead singer of 5-man electrical band, the original group that did that a week or so ago. Jimmy Wayne, I don't know anything about him, but it sounded interesting when I looked it up on Wikipedia, so we'll take a listen. It's $1. This is the Madonna album I have always loved and I've never had, and I was so glad to see that Adam had it for $1. Ray of Light from 1996, I think it is. This is my favorite Madonna album. Love this. Terrific stuff. Michael Damian, Time of the Season. This was released on Wildcat Records, which I believe was his own label. I don't know this album at all, but I know Michael, of course. Everybody does. If you were watching television in the 80s and 90s, you couldn't miss him. Another promo, a single of Spaz Attack by 2 New. I would love to find this whole album by 2 New on CD. I had it set aside for me on cassette when I worked for Transworld, but I changed jobs and I never picked it up. I'd still love to find this because they were really funny and great stuff. Jim Brickman, Hope, another all-piano, new age jazz album. Great stuff on the soundtrack for Grosse Pointe Blank. Terrific acts. That's glaring a bit. There we go. Including Violent Femmes, The Clash, English Beat, David Bowie and Queen, Johnny Nash, The Clash, The Jam, The Specials, Faith No More, Guns N' Roses, Pete Townsend. All kinds of great stuff on that. I have this already, but nobody else wanted it, and I said, well, I'll take it because I think she's awesome. Jan Arden, Insensitive. If you're not familiar with Jan Arden, beyond the ridiculous sitcom she's been doing for the last 3 years, which airs in America on Hulu, you need to get in touch with your music because Jan has been around since 1991. She is awesome. Met her in person. She was so kind and so friendly. She can be a bit of a bitch on Twitter, though. Music from the motion picture Gladiator featuring Warrant's remake of We Will Rock You. It's the sole reason I wanted that. George Winston, Summer. I figured I had winter. I might as well get summer. And finally, Alana Miles and her second album, I believe, that came out and unfortunately did not do that well. This is, what's the name of this? Rocking Horse. This does not have Black Velvet. This is her second album. Equally great stuff. If you've never heard her, I listened to her stuff on Spotify. She's fantastic. She deserved better than she got. I also, as usual, won a couple of drawings. Adam usually throws in some freebies for that. In this case, I ended up with some DVDs of Punch Drunk Love with Adam Sandler, which I've never seen. Tinkerbell. Oh, hold me back, Adam. And this one, okay, is The Client. I think that's, is that Tom Cruise and Brad Renfro, if I remember right? And a U2 sticker. Shame I'm not a big fan, but I'm sure somebody else might be able to, I might be able to pass that on to somebody that is. I did mention that I had gotten a couple of other CDs on these dollar sales that I'd forgotten to bring up last time I talked about Adam's stuff. So let me grab those and put them in here also. Gives me an excuse to get them off the turntable. Ricky Martin, La Historia. There's the December with George Winston that I had mentioned. Susan Boyle Christmas album, The Gift. Pat Metheny, Letter from Home, which I may already have. I love Pat Metheny Group. A few years ago, I went nuts looking for one particular song by him that had been used in a local documentary about the Blue Line. And I bought 3 or 4 of his CDs, and finally, It just jumped out at me on one of his, that's like the 4 CD Last Train Home. Hello. K.D. Lang and the Reclines. Angel with Lariat. I just got this from the Coleman collection also on vinyl. And I had asked Adam for this, and he sent it to me as my prize. I have been wanting to hear it, and I love the song from it originally, and I know it's a classic. Gats Gilberto from 1962, I believe. This is the album that features the girl from Ipanema. I love that. I remember that so much from my childhood, and can't wait to hear this whole thing. So that's my haul and my BCLT and my prizes from my pal Adam down at Record Crate in Raleigh, North Carolina. While I was out Christmas shopping over the last few weeks, I did stop by Target and get a few things, and while I was there, grabbed 30 from Adele. The Target version includes 3 bonus tracks, Wild Wild West, Can't Be Together, and Easy on Me, with Chris Stapleton, which should be interesting. Has a little hype sticker that I stuck on the inside of the Digipack on this. Not a real fan of Digipacks, but I love Adele, and so I wanted to make sure I got that. My latest 45 haul from Dawn and Mary at Two Hip Chicks. Picked this up on Johnny's auction a couple of Fridays ago. Would have got more, except Picky Nikki was there, and she and I go all hog wild, going against each other, trying to save, trying to buy everything. I'm only willing to go a certain level for 45s, and she goes over that, then I usually let her have it. I have a lot of these, but there's quite a few I don't have too, so this is fun. Some of them I'm not familiar with either, including this one. This was produced by Otis Redding, Jackie Hairston, and Hijack, and Monkey on My Back. I'm not sure which one is the A side on that. Same with this one, Clarence Reed, and I'm Gonna Tear You a New Heart, and I'm a Man of My Word on Alston, which I'm also not familiar with. Have this, of course, Love is Thicker Than Water, Andy Gibb, back with Flowing Rivers. No, Words and Music on that one. Now, I'm curious. This is, I can't, this looks like it says Paula Records on the label. But I have a record by Bonnie Lou that has the same picture, and it's on Cameo. So I'm not sure, at least I think it's the same picture. This is Dreamin' Out of Season, and I Just Can't Get Away by the Montclairs. Not familiar with that. Dawn says it's Funk Soul on hers from 1972. I'm not familiar with that label at all. Freddie Hart and Easy Lovin' and Brother Bluebird on that late 60s, early 70s Capitol label. Jerry Rafferty, Right Down the Line, and Waiting for the Day from his City to City album, which is just one of the greatest albums of all time. On that flashy United Artists, as is this, Kenny Rogers, She Believes in Me, and Morgana Jones. Alicia Bridges, and I Love the Nightlife, and Self Applause on Polydor, MVP, I think. Or is that... I never could see. I think it's BGO, actually, the side label. On and On, and Little Italy by Stephen Bishop on that cool rainbow-colored ABC label before they went under. Chic with Good Times and a Warm Summer Night on the Silver Atlantic label. This is the only record, I have this also already. This is the only record I've ever seen on the Silver Atlantic label, is the Chic Good Times. This is actually going to be a different pressing plant than the one I have because the font's completely different. So that'll be fun to check out. Average White Band, AWV, and Cut the Cake and Person to Person. Love that. Classic sax and everything on that. This is also, I think, a later pressing because my copy of this, I have this already, lists the group as the Silvers, not just Silvers. This is just simply Silvers with Boogie Fever and Freestyle. I think mine has a different flip side also. And there again is that salmon-colored Capitol label from the mid-70s. The Other Woman and Stay the Night from Ray Parker Jr. I've never seen this Columbia label. I thought it was a promo. It might be because one side's stereo. Oh, no, they're both stereo. I thought it said mono. I think it's a double-sided hit, too. Willie Nelson and Angel Flying Too Close to the Ground and Mona Lisa, both of which I remember. So I think one hit the pop chart and the other the country chart. The Staples Singers going way back with their cover of Crying in the Chapel, featuring Mavis Staples and Nothing Lasts Forever. Mavis Staples, I was so thrilled to see her team up with Hozier on Nina Cried Power a couple of years ago. Mavis is still an incredible singer, and she always has been. I don't know this one. I don't know the label either. Backbeat is the label. There's no in between, and Better to Give Than Receive by Joe Henton. Completely unfamiliar with that. Funk Soul According to Dawn from 1963. Perry Como, otherwise known to my wife as Perry Coma. And thank you, Animaniacs, so much. Beats There a Heart So True. That's a mouthful. And Moon Talk. I love Perry Como. I think he's fantastic. Promo from Columbia, The Townsmen. Please Don't Say Goodbye and Gotta Get Moving. I don't know this one at all, but you can see it does say not for resale, radio station copy on it. I love the camera unfuts here. Willie Mitchell and Ooh Baby You Turn Me On and Lucky on High Records. Oh, yeah, this one actually is missing the front label. Dawn says this is Lost Without Your Love and Change of Heart by Bread. The back label is there. Which is odd because Lost Without Your Love came out in 76, and I thought they'd already transitioned to the red label at that point, but I might be wrong. Classic Puppy Love and Adam and Eve on ABC Paramount from Paul Anka. This belonged to somebody named Herndon at one point. There's that classic ABC Paramount logo. I'm not sure which one is the A side here. Bobby V, Staying In, and More Than I Can Say, which I do believe is the same song that Leo Sayer had a hit with in 1980. Because I know that was a remake of a 50s song, so that must be it. Dionne Warwick, during her not-so-hit phase in the mid-70s, Once You Hit the Road and World of My Dreams. This is on Warner Brothers, the classic Palm Springs Palm Trees label. Previously belonged to Taylor. Goody Two Shoes and Crackpot History from Adamant, one of the greatest songs of the 80s. Video's kind of whack, though. Don Henley, Dirty Laundry, and Lila. I have this. I have a picture sleeve. Mine is a picture sleeve. Or a company sleeve with the Asylum gold. And a picture sleeve here. I do have this, and I have this sleeve also. I found somebody, and she can't let go, from Glenn Fry. So those are my latest 45 haul from the Two Hip Chicks. They will be doing another auction on Friday, New Year's Eve. I will probably be there and watching from while I'm working and, keeping an eye on the bids and stuff because I love 45s. What can I say? If you're looking to get rid of 45s, give me a shout. I will see if I can make you an offer. Because I don't really have anywhere to put them. They're in drawers like the one up here. But they're in the closet, and I can't get to them because there's other stuff in front of them. That's going to be rectified if it kills me one of these days. Oldies.com recently had a great CD sale. They were on sale between $2 and $5 a piece, so I grabbed a pile of them. Not terribly many, but a few. Enough to show off right here on Out of the Box. I already have this digitally, but I figured I'd grab the CD of it. This is 5 Seconds of Summer, their debut album. Has She Looks So Perfect and Amnesia on it. Also grabbed this, the Ultimate Edition of 4 from One Direction. This is the first One Direction I have in my collection. I was kind of ambivalent about them. I like some of their stuff. Wayne Brady, a long time coming. Love Wayne Brady. He is an amazing vocalist. Everybody knows him as a game show host and game show participant now, but he's terrific. For a holiday time, Christmas music from Kenny G, Wishes. I have his earlier one. Love his stuff. Sergio Mendez and Encanto. Some of his earlier stuff and some new stuff, all redone with other vocalists and such. Robbie Dupuis, Walking on Water. This came out later in his career, well after Hot Rod Hearts and Steal Away were hits. I don't know what this is for sure. It's re-recordings and mega mixes, according to what I've read here. Dance Party Remix, new recordings of Partridge Family classics from David Cassidy. This was released a couple years before he passed away. And finally, the debut album from, I think he was an Australian Idol contestant, Anthony Kalia. Just some good stuff that was on sale at oldies.com, and I'll definitely check it out in the near future. The point of Artists You Should Know is to bring attention to some digital artists that people who listen only to vinyl and CD may not have ever heard of, and why you should be. And we're going to start it off with somebody I've talked about on previous shows who I think is going to be one of the biggest musical stars of the next 2 or 3 years. The man wowed people with his 2020 Eurovision entry, Think About Things, his 21 entry, 10 Years, which they entered because the contest was canceled in 2020, finished in 4th place. But this guy has been making music for over a decade. He's been winning awards since he was 18 years old. And Dadi Freyr, actually, is one of the true creative geniuses of music today. If you've never heard of him, you should. The video for Think About Things, his 2020 Eurovision entry, went viral thanks to Russell Crowe and Hank Green last year, and then of course the concert, or 2020. Of course the the contest was canceled, but many fan polls of the 9 major fan polls that were run around the time Eurovision would have happened, he won 5 of them. He would have had a good shot at winning. For the first time for Iceland. They've come in a couple of times in 2nd and 3rd place, but they've never won. I think he would have done even better if they hadn't been hit by COVID. During the production, Dadi elected to use the pre-taped rehearsal program for the contest, and they still made it to 4th place, which is pretty good. This guy has sold out 2 European tours. He has sold out all 4 dates he's playing in America: Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, and New York. All from his notoriety from these 2 songs. But if you go through his catalog, he's been doing stuff since he was in his late teens with a band called Retrobot first. Then later on, he had a couple of different projects, one of which, if you're an electronica fan, then Mixophrygian is something that you may want to look into. Their stuff is available on digital outlets, and I believe that was also actually issued on CD in Iceland. You might be able to find it elsewhere. Dadi's most recent stuff has been in Icelandic, and then last year he released an EP called Welcome, which featured Think About Things and 10 years, plus other stuff that he's recently done. He is a character and a half, and he has a great YouTube channel. I'll have a link in the show notes. And you should check out his music, check him out, and his lovely wife, Arnie, who is with him most of the time. Think About Things was about the birth of their daughter. 10 Years was about their being together for 10 years. And their earlier song for the 2017 Eurovision Contest in Iceland, which they finished second in, was a song called Is This Love, was about their courtship. They are terrific and they are funny, and he is a musical genius. I mean, keyboards, guitar, he puts it all into one of those cool mixing boards and just punches buttons while he's performing, and it's amazing. I really think he's going to be a major star. If you've not heard his music, please take the time to check it out, because I think even people who hate digital will eventually not be able to get away from this man. He is working on a full-length album, which he hopes to have out in the late summer of 2022. And I'm pretty sure it will probably be out at least on CD, if not vinyl. And it is definitely something to look for, because he's just, I'm sorry, I really do think the man is a genius. He is terrific. If you haven't checked him out, please do. Dadi Freyr is definitely an artist you should know. Heading toward the bookshelf with this rock and review. I talked about this in my Christmas Prezzies video a few weeks ago. Kim bought this for me for Christmas, and it was on my list anyway. I knew it was coming out. But I'll tell you something. I've had the chance to read it now, and it is terrific. If you are a fan of Karen and Richard Carpenter, it is truly one of the definitive books out there. It is called Carpenter's The Musical Legacy, written by Mike Lennox and Chris May with Richard Carpenter. Richard was extensively involved in the research and thorough interviews here. This album includes an interview with Richard, an interview with his primary songwriting partner, John Bettis. And in addition to going through the Carpenters' career year by year, I mean, the schedule that they had in 1971, it's listed here. This book is chock full of never-before-seen pictures. It has ads. It has personal recollections. It has a complete analysis of every single and every album. And then in the rear of the book is sort of a an appendix, I guess it would be. There is the Carpenters' studio discography, which lists all the recordings that they ever did. It also goes through and has a section on each individual single and album that have been released. It also has artwork from all of those. It has a complete list of the charts, where they ended up on the Billboard charts, and also around the world. It is an amazingly interesting book. Now, here's the kicker. Some reviewers have given it terrible reviews because it doesn't touch on the dark issues, meaning Karen's anorexia that took her life and Richard's addiction to Quaaludes in the late 70s. It isn't supposed to. This book is about their music, not about their inner personal lives. This book also does not cover their solo albums, does not cover Karen's aborted solo album from 1980, which was eventually released in 1996, nor does it cover Richard's first solo album, Time, which was released in 1986, I believe, or 87. What it does is give you a loving, in-depth portrait with input from Richard himself on nearly everything they were ever involved with. There is an official bio out there. Richard was a little disappointed because it focused more on why Karen couldn't get well. And that's not what he had wanted, not what the family wanted, but it is an interesting study. I've read that too. But I'll tell you the truth. This is the most comprehensive book on the career, the music, that I've ever seen. I give this a 5-star review. If you're a Carpenters fan, if you're not a Carpenters fan, just a casual music fan, it's probably a 4, maybe 3 3/4, because some of it you probably won't care about. But if you love Karen Carpenter as much as I do, you're going to want to add this to your library. The Carpenters, The Musical Legacy, from Mike Lennox and Chris May with Richard Carpenter, now available everywhere. Check it out. You gotta love that opening. This is where I'm going to give a shout out to somebody else in the VC every week, and I got to start with somebody that I just think the world of. There's so many good friends I have made in the vinyl community since becoming a part of it about 1.5 years, going on 2 years ago. But I have to be honest, no one has given me an education quite the way the man that I have deemed the professor has. That is the incredible Steve Carlson. Right here, as a matter of fact, or where'd I put it? I have a shirt from his early morning Sunday show that I was going to show, but I apparently moved it out of the way. Steve Carlson is so amazing with the vast amount of knowledge he has in the recording industry. He likes all different types of music. If you've seen his early morning Sunday show, that is really hard to say, Steve. Can I say that? He does metal, he does pop, he has a love for African music, which I have discovered through him, some really great stuff. I so love watching his Sunday morning shows and his midweek shows and finding new titles to check out and finding some great stuff, because the man is just such a font of knowledge. This is why I have nicknamed him the Professor. I always refer to him as Professor. I really think of everyone I've met here in the vinyl community, he has been just so kind to me when we've talked, and I've become such a good fan, and so wonderful sharing knowledge when I've asked him or said, a couple of times, and he reciprocates by sending me comments on some of the stuff I do from time to time. I can't get enough of him, and I think everybody definitely should check him out. So if you don't know who Steve Carlson is, you obviously haven't been around the vinyl community very long, and I urge you to check him out because he is just that damn good. Steve, thank you for being my friend, and thank you for giving me so much great stuff to check into, and I will have another shout out next week. On the back page this week, you guys know, if you've watched my videos before this show premiered, you guys know I'm kind of obsessed with the event that happens every spring called the Eurovision Song Contest. Eurovision is gearing up for another year, 62, coming up in May. But there's something even more important coming first, and that is the American equivalent. In fact, it is officially licensed from Eurovision. The American Song Contest is coming up in February, and it is going to be America's attempt to do a Eurovision-style contest. NBC, which carried Eurovision on Peacock this year because of this deal they have, will carry the contest. It will broadcast over, I believe it's 4 weeks time, with possibly 5 weeks time. I think there's three rounds, a semifinal and a final. It will air, I believe, live every time, and it premieres right now, you know, everything not withstanding, on February 21st on NBC, and will run through March 28th. All 50 states will be involved, as well as the District of Columbia and 5 territories. Is that right? Yes. U.S., all 50 states, Washington, D.C., and the territories of American Samoa, Guam, Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands will each have a representative. Now, it's going to be similar in the way that it's designed and the way it goes to the Eurovision Song Contest. And some people who are fans of Eurovision, particularly Europeans, don't think America can adapt to it. They think it's a little too kitschy for America. But as a couple of writers pointed out from the Wee Wee blog site, which covers Eurovision every year, America has its kitsch stuff too, including beauty pageants like Miss America and Miss USA, and other things as well. So whether or not Eurovision will do well here as a homegrown contest is yet to be seen. We will be bringing you extensive coverage, and I say we, I mean me, because I am the site. I will be bringing you extensive coverage of the American Song Contest as it gears up, which will roll straight into my coverage of the 62nd Eurovision Contest, which happens in May. Some of the songs are already out, and it's going to be a crazy spring with all this coverage, and I'm not sure whether most of the coverage will probably be in some sort of a special type series that I'll run during the season for each thing, and some of it will be here. I do want to say congratulations to Armenia's entry into the Junior Eurovision Song Contest, which happened on December 19th. I was going to cover it considerably, but because of goings on here in November and December, I didn't get to do what I usually do for it. Kwame Kwame was the song. Armenia was the country. They took the 19th Junior Eurovision Contest and will indeed host the 20th anniversary of the Junior Eurovision Contest next fall. So we will be seeing them again, and a lot of other great acts as well, I'm sure. No list of participants or songs has yet been made available for the American Song Contest. When they do come out, and I would think they should before the end of January, I will have a listing of them on my full website, thekirkhamreport.com. Please check over there for all the latest stuff. That's where a lot of good coverage is going to be. And we'll cover it here as well. Somebody representing each state and those territories and District of Columbia. It'll be interesting to find out who is going to represent, if there's going to be any big names, anybody. I mean, somebody was pointing out a number of Eurovision performers over the years are actually from America and, you know, had connections to America, like Katrina and the Waves, who won for 1998 for Britain. Katrina is actually from Kansas. So, I mean, she could represent Kansas and so on and so forth. It's going to be interesting to see how well it works. So we will have coverage of the American Song Contest, and that's the first annual one, and the 62nd annual Eurovision Song Contest, both coming up this spring. So I hope you will enjoy that. Stay tuned to all the shows here on TKR Video Central, as well as my full site, thekirkhamreport.com. I'll have all kinds of great music stuff for you coming up in the near future. Before we go, I want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching, and I hope that you like this new formatted show. I just wanted to change it up and try to do something a little bit more formal, and a little bit more formatted, that I could actually turn into a series that I could do. I've seen some other people doing that, and it just really seems to appeal to me, and it gives me something, a weekly outlet 2 or 3 times to talk to you. I hope the VC likes it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Please spread the word, let people know we're out here, and don't forget to leave a comment, because I love hearing from you. Not all of the new features on this have premiered yet. I have several in the works I'm still working on, and as I said when we were first doing this, Show's going to run 20 to 45 minutes every week probably, and I hope that you'll take the time to watch them. I do have other new shows. Where we go with the we again. What is this with collective we? I don't know. Collective we. I have 2 more shows premiering this week on TKR Video Central here on YouTube. Influencers, in which I talk about the musicians and artists who have influenced me, and we talk about their catalog. That is on Tuesdays. And also Off the Charts, the new show, where I will be talking about taking different queries, different questions and stuff. If you have a question for that or for anything else, or just want to drop a line to say hi, you can do that by writing to tkr@pnrnetworks.com. Or my main web address, which is popcornandroses@yahoo.com. And I'll get it either way. They all come to the same box. And let me know what you'd like to see with that. I also am going to be premiering a new music and talk show called The Groove Line. It will be exclusively through Anchor, co-sponsored with Spotify Premium. If to hear all the songs I'll be playing on that, you do need to be a Spotify Premium member. So anybody who does believe in streaming out there, please join up and check it out. It will premiere either this week or next week. I'm not sure yet. But the other 2 shows are both coming later this week. And of course, TC's Obscuria Vaults every morning at 11 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. All kinds of obscure songs, lots of fun, and lots of factoids. I've get lots of comments on those, and thank you so much for listening. So until next time, hopefully you will have more and you'll like what you see. For the Kirkham Report, I'm TC Kirkham. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.